It was like telling me something was wrong. But let's see if we're on here live. Okay, we are. So I just want to say I have an interview tomorrow with an interesting man. I didn't put the thumbnail up for it, which, I always announce it before, but I just want to do something really quick while we're waiting. And I can talk to you about stuff anyway. I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening with Gypsy. We know that. And she's she's not allowed to do a lot of things. And again, this is allegedly, but it's seeming to be true based on what's happening. And she has a friend. Her friend is that girl Bree that's got the TikTok that's on for like 17 hours sometimes, right? And tomorrow is the 29th. So what's happening is that she is allegedly using this friend to do, some dirty work and keep her hands clean and not get into any trouble. So we're going to talk about that in just a second here. Okay, I've got that done. So tomorrow I have 2 o'clock. We're going to have an interview, and I'll try to, put it up really early in the morning. The thumbnail, I just did that. Let's get on to this because I'm not going to be on that long. So just save that so I have it. But before we do that, we're going to talk about Kouri Richins, the woman you see right there. She's going to be heading to trial. So they were essentially trying to see if there's a case to go to trial, and yes, the evidence is there, and she's going to go to trial. She is on trial for murdering her husband with a drink that contained fentanyl. She said they were celebrating, but there were a lot of things that came out, including her texting a boyfriend beforehand, her story not adding up. She wrote grief books after her husband died, and it was actually when she was promoting those grief books when she ended up being arrested. So let's see what happened, that she is going to trial and when that trial might be. Okay. So the Utah State Judge Richard Mrazek ruled on the second day of Kouri Richins' preliminary hearing that prosecutors had presented enough evidence against her to proceed with a jury trial. She is facing a slew of felony charges for allegedly killing her husband with a lethal dose of fentanyl in March of 2022. This happened at their home near Park City. The prosecutors allege that Kouri slipped 5 times the lethal dose of synthetic opioid into a Moscow Mule cocktail that her husband, Eric Richins, 39 years old, drank and died. She has been adamant in maintaining that she is innocent, okay? She entered pleas of not guilty to all 11 counts against her. The second day of her preliminary hearing centered around an additional attempted murder charge that was filed in March that accused her of slipping the fentanyl into her husband's favorite sandwich on Valentine's Day, which caused a severe but non-lethal reaction. The Summit County prosecutor Brad Bloodworth defended the charge by describing how he thinks Richins learned lessons during her first unsuccessful attempt on her husband's life. And those lessons helped her be successful 17 days later when he died. One bite of his favorite sandwich left with a note in the front seat of his truck on Valentine's Day made Eric Richins break out in hives. He also blacked out. His wife brought a sandwich from a local diner 2 days after she also purchased fentanyl pills from the family's housekeeper. Now, this housekeeper, she is granted immunity for telling what she knows about this. And according to the witness statements, she deleted her text messages, but the police can recover them. The text messages and the location data indicate that Kouri Richins may have brought the sandwich home and then left to spend Valentine's Day with another man whom she was having an affair with. A day after Valentine's Day, she texted her lover, "If he could just go away, life would be so perfect." In written testimony, 2 friends of Eric Richins recounted phone conversations from the day that the prosecutors say he was first poisoned by his wife. They were married 9 years before he died. After injecting himself with his son's EpiPen and chugging a bottle of Benadryl, he awoke from a deep sleep and told a friend, and I quote, "I think my wife tried to poison me." The housekeeper, Carmen Lauber, told police that Kouri Richins told her to procure stronger fentanyl. And Detective Jeff O'Driscoll said on the Monday of the hearing, and I quote, "She learned that putting it in a sandwich where Eric Richins could take a bite, feel the effects, and set the sandwich down was not the proper way to administer it. She learned that it takes a truckload of fentanyl to kill him." Days later, Kouri Richins called 911 in the middle of the night to report that her husband was found by her cold to the touch at the foot of their bed. He was pronounced dead, and a medical examiner later found 5 times the lethal dose of fentanyl in his system. In the months before her arrest, she self-published the children's book, Are You With Me?, about a father with angel wings who was watching over his young son after passing away. The book could eventually play a key role for prosecutors in framing Eric Richins' death as a calculated murder with an elaborate cover-up attempt. The judge scheduled a pretrial conference on September 23rd for the prosecution and defense to discuss jury selection, but the trial date has not been set, so we still don't know when she's going to go to trial and how many other delays could happen, right? But that's what's happening there. Now, I'm going to go to this Indiana man. An Indiana man admitted to poisoning his wife over a period of months so that he could kill her and marry her daughter. This man you see here with the coke, Alfred Ruff, 71 years old, was sentenced this week after pleading guilty to aggravated battery, posing a risk of death for the 2021 poisonings that sent his wife to the hospital several times. The investigation into Ruff began in 2022 when his wife, 51-year-old Lisa Bishop, reported him to police claiming that he was trying to poison her. She was experiencing unexplained headaches, drowsiness, diarrhea, and more as a result of this poisoning. She then tested positive for several drugs, including MDMA and cocaine, both of which she claimed she never took. Ruff initially confessed to her that he had been poisoning her soft drinks. The arrest affidavit said that they found a powdery substance in cans of Coca-Cola. Alfred Russ, they spelled his name wrong here first. It's Russ. Alfred Russ, R-U-S, not R-U-F. You think they would proofread a document, right? Yeah. Alfred Russ admitted to officers that he was poisoning his wife. Why? He wanted to marry her daughter. He also told authorities that 2 other women were involved in the plan, including his wife's daughter. He also claimed he was in a sexual relationship with the 31-year-old daughter of his wife. And that's all per the affidavit. He told authorities that the daughter provided him with the poison, and she's the one that came up with the plan to kill her mother. It wasn't immediately clear if the daughter's been charged on the allegations, but he's going to serve 4 years in prison, followed up by 5 years of probation per the court documents. Wow. That's just crazy. Okay, and on to Gypsy. So it looks like, allegedly, that Gypsy is using a friend, Brianna, to dox other content creators that report critically about her behavior and continued profiting off her crime. Brianna and Gypsy became friends back in February. Brianna appears to be obsessed with Gypsy and has been known to live stream, like I said, 17 hours, 16 hours, 15 hours at a time, trying to debunk what's come out about Gypsy, okay? So all of this stuff about her being a manipulator of Nick and all of that, she just keeps trying to debunk all this stuff, everything that creators are saying about her being in the mastermind, her, not being a victim, not having medical abuse or anything like that. Whatever it is, she's going to bat for hours and hours at a time to defend all these things, to debunk these things. And I talked about her, I think, last week when I told you that she was doing this stuff, okay? But it's getting worse. And Gypsy and allegedly her stepmom, okay, try to dig up information on other creators to silence them from speaking the truth. And they're most offended when people refuse to believe that Gypsy unaliving her mother was justified. So anybody that says, she didn't have to do that, she was the mastermind, she plotted this, there wasn't abuse, she didn't have to do this to escape, or any of that, she doesn't like it. Not at all. The prosecutor stated that the unaliving of Gypsy's mother was not justified. And they have never stated that Gypsy was a victim of Munchausen's by proxy. Instead, she was given a plea deal due to mitigating circumstances of abuse by her mother. At the time of Dee Dee's murder, Gypsy was caring for her mother. Dee Dee was mostly bedbound due to gout, complications of diabetes, and a heart condition. Gypsy wasn't in danger, allegedly, from her mother. In fact, it was allegedly the other way around. Gypsy has been shown to have been using social media to mastermind this plot to unalive her mother for over 2 years, and it involved Nick Godejohn, who she allegedly manipulated, preyed upon, and then did certain things so that he would get caught as quickly as possible. She thought she would escape prosecution. She thought she would escape any blame in this at all. It didn't work out that way. We saw her interrogation and we saw what happened. But then, in a crazy spin on things, because it was an election year and all of that, the prosecutor then agreed to this plea deal, which is crazy. She only had to serve 85% of a 10-year sentence. And so she's using this Brianna to dox creators that disagree with her. She is able, using this friend, to attack creators by proxy through Brianna. And just, so a lot of the creators that have been attacked are those that are bringing the truth bombs out there. So that's the word on the streets there with her. Excuse me. I just swallowed wrong. And what else is happening with Gypsy? She seems to be spending, I don't know, like it just seems like she's spending more time with Ken than the allotted days. I don't know, just because we'll see her getting ready for a date night and then she's still at Ken's and still at Ken's. But I don't know, I don't know that for sure. I would imagine she probably wants to spend as much time as possible with him and out of her parents' house, right? She doesn't want to do that. She's always been, looking for the guys, right? She is following her PR plan to an absolute T. But something interesting, when she was pointed out for copying another pregnant creator, like with the fruit and stuff, she allegedly deleted all of her fruit pictures. So it'll be interesting if she doesn't talk about fruit anymore. Now, what is interesting is that she's allegedly just turned 19 weeks pregnant on Wednesday. And on 20 weeks, like I said last week, she's going to have an anatomy scan where they go over the entire baby and they check, the organs, the heart. Does it have a 4-chamber heart? How's the spine? How's this? How's that? Measure the leg bones, all of that. It's an anatomy scan. It's something that they do. And she is having that next week. So that should be interesting. There's still a lot of people that believe the ultrasound and everything is fake. There's still a lot of people that believe she's not pregnant. Believe me, if I hadn't seen the ultrasound, I would not think she was pregnant myself. But seeing it, I don't think any business is going to put their business on the line to fake an ultrasound. I just don't believe it. I would be very shocked to find out that they would, because I've seen the business on Instagram, and I just don't believe they would do it. But I believe they're also going to distance themselves from Gypsy and from Ken, because they do bring chaos wherever they go, because the public is infuriated that some reason they've thrust a murderer into celebrity status, and people think it's bad enough, like that she got 3 Make-A-Wish trips. But now, instead, they're still giving her this free stuff. And why? Why? When there's people that need this stuff, well, she's already taken so much. 3 Make-A-Wish trips, right? And I want to talk about another thing, okay? And this is really important. A bunch of you came in here and you told me, oh, you got to go see this other creator has this lady from Habitat Humanity on, and she's going to talk about Gypsy, and and I read a little bit about what was being said, and I told you last night, right? I said I call BS on it because it sounds shady as AF. First off, this woman that goes on there, well, it's interesting that she says she's on this committee for Habitat for Humanity, and she met them in 2008, and that Gypsy was demanding, and that she put her hands on staff, and she was talking about that she didn't want laminate flooring, she wanted carpet, and even though it was less expensive, like, it was all over the place. But here's the thing, stuff she said didn't make sense. You know why? Because Habitat for Humanity did not build that house. That house, St. John's, if you look at a documentary about that, there's medical staff that's there, and they say that St. John's had owned that house. So that means that house was built. And this woman is on this other live saying stuff like, oh, we had the plans, she was changing the plans, she wanted her bedroom further away, all of this stuff that's like crazy, because if you watch this other documentary, what Habitat for Humanity did was build the ramps around the house. Let me see if my video is buffering. I don't know why it's doing that. Hang on a second. So, like I said last night, in any big case, when some creators just want to have content, they don't vet people. We saw it so much with the Watts case. All these alleged Anadarko insiders, they're so secretive. They saw Chris and NK at the checkpoints kiss. I mean, it was so fake, because Survey 319 didn't even have these like I mean, those of you who were there know, okay, that the stuff that was described wasn't even there. Okay, these are cattle ranches. Anyway, same kind of thing here, okay? This woman is just going off on tangents and looking for 15 minutes of fame. And she's also allegedly, this is my opinion, okay? Where's her proof? Why isn't she bringing the proof? Why was she so scared to speak? Oh, I don't want to say this, I don't want to say that, I don't want to get in trouble. You don't want to get in trouble by who? Who don't you want to get in trouble by if it was the truth? You know what I mean? It was very, very bad. And you know, the people that eat it up, they just want to hear anything, and then they go on repeating these lies. Oh, did you hear? She was abusive to the staff of Habitat for Humanity. She was putting her hands on people. She wanted to go and, you know, fight them. So, what is going on with my... Hold on a minute. I just want to make sure this is still going, because it's now went to a white screen over here. So I told you last night I don't believe it. I looked into it a little more. Don't believe it. That's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. You want to believe that crap? Go right on ahead. I don't. Then she went from that she was on a committee to when she started talking, she became more and more and more and more powerful. Like, these are my team, these are my people, it's like, oh my gosh, where are we going now? So please, let's see, Jip is the, okay, she might be afraid to talk. Kevin, I would be very, very shocked. Kevin, you watched the documentary with me, remember? And they said the hospital owned the house. This woman's saying they built the house. They had the plans, she's saying. She's saying they built it from the ground up. We know that's not true. Hi 61. We saw the documentary about it. She's a nutcase, Hi 61 says. So, I mean, yeah, it's just, why am I in top chat? Let's see. First of all, why the freak am I in top chat? Yeah, I believe she's lying, and that's what I'm going to say. That's my opinion. My opinion, it doesn't add up. St. John's owned it. Yes. Let's see. Alicia Nelson. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you forever. I saw her and all of her minions on TikTok, and such a Karen. Who, Alicia? Good to see you back. Gosh, I haven't seen you in a long time. You saw her. Who did you see? The lady that's saying that she worked for Habitat Humanity? Gypsy? Who did you see? Bree? Who? Let me know. St. John's owned it, yes. She said they basically built it from the ground up, so that's a completely different story than... Oh, and she insinuated that people at the ribbon cutting who were doctors were not doctors, so I don't know if she's trying to take down the credibility of those people. She's being investigated. Who? Let's use names because I don't know who you're talking about. Right now, I'm talking about some woman that said she was working with Habitat for Humanity and said these things. I think you're talking about Gypsy or Bree or somebody else. But if you put it down, then we'll know who you're talking about. The lady that just lives off of slamming, that lady, Gypsy. I don't get it, Alicia. What lady? I'm so lost. Alicia, you think that Gypsy's telling the truth? Interesting. Have you seen the interrogations, Alicia? There's a lady on TikTok that dedicates her life. Okay. Yes, I heard that convo. So what's your take on this, Alicia? What's your take on this? In my opinion, Gypsy did her time and she's out now. Let her make mistakes before you start bashing her. Give her a chance. She's been abused in her life. I don't think she's wrong. That's your opinion, Alicia. Did you watch the interrogation? If you watched the interrogation, I cannot get behind that. What she did to Nick's family and that little boy that no longer has a mother anymore, no longer really has a brother anymore, that whole family destroyed, him having to sit in an interrogation when he was such a little kid. I think it's terrible, horrible. She groomed Nick. It was terrible. Yes, you have several times she was abused, she was sheltered, she was weird, she got her so caught up in something bad. She did something bad, but she did her time. I don't believe that. I don't at all. I think what she did to Nick's family What she did to him, I don't think she did her time. Sorry. I don't think 8.5 years is okay for that. I don't. I think she cut a deal based on something that isn't true. I don't, it makes me very upset, like what that little kid is going through. She set him up, absolutely. She's more conniving and manipulating, and yeah, she might have been a kid at one time. She may have learned this from her mother, but she, I believe, is a very dangerous person. Gypsy did not do her time. She was not abused. She got a great deal, but as of today, looks like she might be going down. Why do you say that, Bubs? What's happened today? Tell me. Watch her lie about it when you get caught. Yeah. How come, listen, Alicia, why does she lie that when she got out of prison, she lied about her teeth and said that they got that way because of chemo? She didn't have chemo treatments. This is after she got released from prison. She was still lying. So we all need to do our own research and not listen to everything presented to you. Let the facts talk. Exactly, Galacticness. You've got to let it get your research, do it, and find the facts. You know, it's why is she still lying? She's lying so much on the outside. And it's just, she said she wasn't ready for a baby. She couldn't do this. And then the way she treats these men, and you can watch it in the other podcast. Oh, you missed out on the, you missed out on the latest. Tell me what's the latest, Bubs. What's the latest, Bubs? I just have to get some ice. Hold on. You tell me the latest. Put it in the chat. I'll read it when I get there. I'm just going to get some ice. Got to get a drink. I'm parched. Tell me the latest. I'm ready to hear the latest. I'm ready to hear the latest. Izzy, what are you doing there, puppy? Huh? You should go night-night like the rest of the good puppies. Huh? I'm coming. I can't wait to hear the latest. Is it the real latest, or is it like another fake insider latest? Because I hate the fake stuff. Okay, let's see. Bob says, let me see here. Bub says, hold on. Okay, I'm holding. First off, I'm going blind, so sorry for the typos. This is my second language, and yes, it's my opinion. I feel like she was abused, and that her only way out, and she did her time. You're entitled to feel that way, Alicia. I don't agree with it, but that's what makes the world go round. Looking at the interrogations, looking at the way that she lied, I just can't. It doesn't add up. Okay, now what did you tell me You just did. Something is happening with court stuff. She did that time, White Angel, but that plea deal was because it was an election year. And the prosecutor did not want to be in what he thought maybe the public would see, the prosecution of this, somebody that was pretending to be this helpless child. But that's not what Gypsy was. She was weeks away from being 24 years old. Right? So it was a raw deal. Today, as of 1 p.m. Okay, let me see. That's what the court sentenced her to, and it's true to 10 years. She did 85%. Was awful to Gypsy from day. She didn't. Her mother was not awful to her from day one. She wasn't. She used her as her hustle, and she abused her severely doing it. I don't agree with that. I'm sorry, I don't agree with that at all. But that's fine. She had a lip flip. It covers the gums more. Plus she keeps licking her lips. Today as of 1 p.m. What happened today as of 1 p.m.? It's just easier to pick on her and bash her than to let her live her life. You should know that. You've gone through some horrible shit. Okay, but Alicia, I didn't murder my mother. I didn't murder my mother. It's not, you cannot compare. It's not apples for apples, okay? It's so totally different. I didn't groom someone on the internet to come and murder my mother. You cannot. We're talking about true crime here. This is not just saying, oh, I don't like this person, or I'm jealous of this person, or something, so I'm going to say this or that or the other thing. First of all, I don't do petty attacks. I do not. Never have. I don't do it. Okay, so that's not me, number one. What I talk about is going to be the facts of the case based on the interrogation, what we see, behavioral, analysis, all of that. I am not going to be petty and say something about the size of a facial feature or things like that and sit there and mock and mock and mock like that. I'm not. That's not what we're here for. But we're here to talk about the facts, what she did, the mastermind of this, all of that. So Alicia is not anywhere, shape, or form the same as what's happened to me at all. Her mother doted and spoiled her. Yes, she shouldn't have done the cons, but the cons were to spoil Gypsy and give her everything she wanted. I agree. This is a murder who, with evidence, is released, and it was a lie. Gypsy would have been best to give herself a few years of sorting herself out before getting all bent up and feeling like she had to take control of the narratives herself. How do you know this stuff that you hear is not made up? Because I'm not listening to what I hear. I'm watching the interrogation with my own eyes. And I'm looking at the text messages that she had with Nick with my own eyes. This is not what somebody's telling me. You should know me better than that. I don't need anybody to tell me what's going on. I'm going to look at an interrogation. I'm going to look at the discovery. I'm going to look at the text messages. That's what I'm going to look at. Um, yes, so let her have a few years without any bashing. She was terrified in that interrogation and young, and sometimes you do dumb things when you're young. Oh my goodness. I don't know, Alicia. I don't buy that at all. I don't buy. Did you see Nick's stepfather and his little brother? Did you see the interrogation of Nick's mother? Did you watch Nick's interrogation and subsequent interviews? You know, that's where there's a problem. I'm sorry, Dee Dee was not spoiling her. She was using her to make a living. No, she wasn't. Dee Dee ignored her own health. Dee Dee ignored everything to give Gypsy this great life. Disney, Universal, weeks at Disney, Royal Mashed Potatoes, character breakfast, the park closed off, 3 Make-A-Wish trips, whale watching, swimming with dolphins, all of this stuff to give her this tremendous childhood. It wasn't like what you're saying, and she has a chromosome deletion syndrome. And the procedures she needed to have. And she did not have all of those procedures that you're hearing about because she didn't have them. But it didn't stop Gypsy from lying when she got out of prison to say about her teeth. She said, it's because of the chemo I had. She didn't have chemo. We know for a fact that Gypsy was abused with the feeding tube. No, she had failure to thrive because of the chromosome deletion. We do not know for a fact that she was abused medically. I do not believe she was abused medically. I believe every medical procedure she had was warranted due to her chromosome issue. The neighbor said Dee Dee was immaculate, but she got ill and Gypsy did 0. Gypsy actually, Alicia, was the person that came to her daughter's rescue all the time. When Gypsy sent these over-sexualized messages to her father and pictures to her father and to Mia, it was Dee Dee that covered it up and blamed it on the neighbor in order to get Gypsy off the hook. Dee Dee was constantly catering to Gypsy. Unbelievably catering to her. Her last words were, Gypsy, please don't hurt me. Hey, Kato. I don't believe Dee Dee could force a doctor to put a feeding tube down her kid without that being a doctor's decision. Gypsy still does 0 and expects everyone to cater to her. Why clown on her looks? I don't. Alicia, then you're not watching me. You tell me, please, when I do petty. I don't do petty, Alicia. I don't do it. And you know that. That's one thing I've always said. If you go that low, you don't have facts. I don't do stuff like that. Tell me. I want somebody to tell me in here when I've go there and I'm ripping into her about her looks and all that. I don't do that. There's no need. I don't do that. That's not who I am. We're talking about facts here. We're talking about the interrogation. We're talking about what she did in that interrogation. We're talking about her text messages. Check the court records. Something shady is going on. We think federal charges may be coming. I hope you're not talking about that thing that came out last week where they searched for people's names and... I look for info from court records and things. Yeah. Really, tell me when I've been... What did you say? Clowning on her looks. Tell me when I've been clowning on her looks. Well, I've seen a lot of commenting on her weight, her teeth. That's not me. That's not me. You know that. If you know me, Alicia, I don't do that. It's the kind of stuff that's been done to me. I don't do that. That's petty. That's childish. That's ridiculous. I don't go after somebody's looks, their weight, I don't do that. I'm going after the facts. I'm going after the interrogation. I'm going after what she did during that interrogation. She pulled out her dentures to make herself look, more needy. She's told them, I can't go to jail because I have medical needs. Well, I thought they weren't real. I thought that they were all made up. What's going on? You can't have it both ways. You only talk about the facts, and I've never clowned on anyone's looks. Thank you, little lady. No, it's not seeing little brother. No, it's not. It is not seeing little brother. I saw the interrogation with his mother. And no, you've got to watch Gypsy's, not Nick's interrogation. Please watch it, Alicia. And watch the stepfather. I have it here on this channel. The stepfather and the little brother. It'll break your heart. He says, when are we going to see Nick? Are we going to see Nick again? And then you know that his mother's going to take her own life. Thank you, Maya. It's, a lot of people have changed their minds, Alicia, after watching those interrogations. And you need to look at the text messages. When you look at those text messages, she knew what she was doing. He told her many times, let's just run away. Let's stop this. But no, she wanted her mother done, okay? Finished. Well, she shouldn't have should have went out and got a job and done at the right way, not a gypsy. Am I right about that or what? Yes, you're right about that. Her mother shouldn't have been doing the cons. No, her mother shouldn't have been doing the cons. But that isn't a reason that her mother deserved to die, right? And there were other things Gypsy could have done. But she thought she was going to get away with this. Please watch Nick's interview. I need you to watch Nick's interview, Alicia. And watch the stepfather. And read the text messages. I have videos on all of that. It's the worst case a Munch has. But it's not that I've ever seen. Doctors, no, they haven't said the same thing. They haven't said the same thing. In fact, the one Munchausen's expert said that, I mean, to remember how he said it, Gypsy was a sociopath, dangerous, I believe that's what was said. Go watch Mommy, Dead, and Dearest. Listen to that expert. Listen to her own cousins say, don't turn your back on her. It's only been verified. She had only 4 procedures from what I've seen so far. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there that's not true, Alicia. A lot of stuff that's not true. Bub says, if she were truly medically abused, she would not be so willing to have her teeth done, her lips, her neck. It's a lot to sort through. Yeah, it is. It is a lot to go through, but I don't know. She's very manipulative. And she knew what she was doing. She set up a mentally ill person to take the heat. Yes, 100%. 100%. %. She left a lot of victims. She most certainly did. She most certainly did. She brings chaos and all of that stuff. Cato said Gypsy also had a father. Nobody ever talked about that there is a father. Yes, she even said, remember she said, Cato, she said, I guess I could have called my dad and I could have moved in with him. She knew she could have done that. And I don't know if you understand this, Christy and Dee Dee were friendly. When there was a either a hurricane or it was a tornado or some kind of a storm that was moving through, Dee Dee reached out to Christy and said, you guys could come up here. You didn't understand. They were friendly. And then what happened, right? You also want to know about Jill, the first, the mother of the other daughter, right? I know you don't, Carolyn. I had to quit YouTube because I could get over what, Alicia? You quit YouTube? Why? I remember you, Alicia. Don't you live in Las Vegas or Nevada, right? You used to be here a lot, I remember. Who's not in the will? Misbehaving? I didn't say anything about a will. What are you talking about? In the will? I'm not even talking about a will. I quit YouTube because I couldn't stand watching what was happening to you on YouTube, and the most horrible time in your life. I had to quit. I know you've been through the ringer. You and he's talking about Jill, the mother of the other daughter Rod has. Everyone's opinions are okay, Alicia. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. That's, no problem. No problem. I don't know. I just got in. I thought I had you say he wasn't in the will. My bad. No worries, misbehaving. I know because they did it to you during the Chris Watts case. I remember. Yes, I've had a lot of horrible things. Just recently, I've had people say that my son didn't have cancer. I mean, it's just incredible. But this is not anything like that. I thought that was Chris. No, he has another daughter misbehaving. He has another daughter that's closer in age to Gypsy. She knew what she was planning, doing, orchestrating was wrong, and she was 22 years old. Yeah, 23 years old. Well, when she started planning, right, yeah, younger, okay. Rod had another lady preggers at the same time, or 4 to 5 months. Yeah, they're a few months apart. That's right. Absolutely. In fact, Mia comments on her social media and stuff, and then somebody asked Gypsy in a live stream, "Does your dad talk to his other daughter? Do they talk?" And she said, "Yes, they talk. Yes, they talk." I think it was the one when she was at the pool. Either that or the one before that where she was putting on her makeup. Isn't there a sister and a brother? Oh, yeah. Yes, Rod has 2 kids with Christy. He has a daughter with a woman named Jill, and he had a daughter with Dee Dee. And who knows how many others there might be out there. I don't know, That is the link right there. I will watch it. That's the link right there. I will watch. Well, Alicia, just go to, if you just type in, go to my, channel and you hit the little magnifying glass and you hit Gypsy, you'll see it. You'll see Nick's interrogation. You'll see the stepfather's interrogation, all that stuff. It's horrible. The little boy, he'll break your heart. Okay, Alicia, I'm happy to see you. I always liked you. I'm not going to lose friends over Gypsy Rose. I'm happy to see you. So, what did you say so far? Not. So far, not. What, Oliver? Nobody has the right to play God and take someone's life. Exactly, Alicia, right. Dee Dee was only 48 years old. No, I haven't. I've watched a lot of other stuff, misbehaving. I've been in true crime a long time, so this is not the first time they're like, you go back. I have stuff on this case back a few years, but I've watched a lot of the documentaries, and I've gone through the Discovery. I will now. I have to know. Yeah, do it. Do it. Let me know what you think. Everyone's opinions are welcome because it's a crazy case with lots to it. Yeah, it is. It is. There's a lot of different aspects to this case, and it just gets. I just feel so bad for Nick's little brother. And, you know, if, I didn't believe she was pregnant, and then now, she is apparently, but you have to think about, like, this is another life coming in here, and it's scary. It's scary that she's going to care for this life. You know what I mean? Is she going to? I don't know. Let me paint it black. But yeah, I want you to take a look at it. Let me know what you think. Because it is a wild stuff going on. But you know what? It's what is it? 3:30. I do know from watching her, she's very stunted in growth. She's very immature. Yeah, but Alicia, a lot of it is an act. You know why? Because when you look at her text messages, and there's other messages. Okay, listen. There's other text messages that we haven't seen yet. And they involve like very hyper sexual stuff, but yet then she like just regresses and says, oh no, I'm still this girl that loves Disney and this and that. Like, it's just so manipulative. And she could have just walked away. She could have. Yeah, think of how long she talked to Nick before he agreed to do it. I agree that Nick is mentally challenged. He has a dark side. He's just like Gypsy. He was an adult. He knew what he was doing was wrong. They're both guilty. Oh yeah, they're both guilty, but Gypsy, she was the mastermind behind this, right? And he's guilty, but I think Nick belongs for the rest of his life in a psychiatric hospital. Okay, but I think that Gypsy should not be out after 8.5 years. Just don't believe it. Why was she so sexually advanced? Because she was online looking up sites like BDSM, stuff like that, getting involved with these men. Her mother was taking her to these science fiction things like VisionCom and stuff like that. And then she was getting involved with guys from there and even ran away with one, and then talked even to Nick in text messages and said, before I leave Springfield, what would you say if I got together with another guy? She was sending like things to her father and her sister that were so embarrassing and everything else, and she thought nothing of doing it. And then Gypsy's mom, Dee, took up for her and blamed it on the neighbor next door. So it's really bad. Let's see what she says. Her chromosome disorder commonly involves increased sexuality. I'm not sure of that. Well, I've not seen that side of her. I've only seen her on Dr. Phil, her little squeaky voice, and professing her innocence. Yeah, check out the text messages. Check out there's excerpts of her book being read where she's talking about taking pictures with, let's just say, fake male appendages, let's put it that way, that were ordered from Japan, and taking these pictures in prom dresses that Dee bought on sale and this stuff. Yeah. She knew a lot. and she lied a lot. Nick said he had a good and evil person in him. Right. I called it when everybody was saying she wasn't pregnant. I said, yes, she is. I said it right here. Okay. You get a gold star. White Angel, I was unsure for a while. Mm-hmm. You've emailed Dr. Phil? I doubt he'll care. Dr. Phil is not, I don't want to say too much. Alicia said the media has a lot to do with this. All the movies, the sensationalism, their lives. Well, yeah, but the problem is what really people have to watch are those interrogations, because people have been coming here, Alicia, and they've been saying the interrogations changed everything for them. Everything. The text messages, he lost all respect for him when he started spreading the lies that Gypsy wants us to believe. Yeah, I don't hold Dr. Phil in very high regard, okay, at all. Not at all. I didn't. He just talks in those little cliches, you know. I gave you the canvas, you painted the picture, you know. He's just stuck in that stuff. Gypsy should not be on social media. Did I hear about the grand jury? Yeah, I mean, somebody was just trying to say some stuff like that. But the other day, some people were saying things that they were just like looking stuff up, and that this maybe not what they think it is. You didn't see Nick's interrogation until 2 to 3 weeks ago. You really learn. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. But I'm going to go to bed now. Tomorrow's another day. I thank you all for being here. Alicia, it was really good to see you again. I hope you and your family are well. That's what's really important. And I hope you guys are doing okay. So, but we'll be around tomorrow, God willing. And tomorrow I have an interview at 2 o'clock with a really interesting man, which I just have to get the thumbnail up. You got booted. Did I hear about the court stuff? They're saying something about it, but I don't, someone said something the other day. Well, why aren't you here, High 61? Where you been? The one case that I did follow was the Alec Baldwin case. Where have you been, High 61? Okay, I know what I'm doing later tomorrow. Okay. You let me know. Watch it and let me know. And we'll see you guys later up at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I have a really good guest. It's not about Gypsy. It's about like real life. And I think it's about something that affects everybody in real life. I think you'll really enjoy that. Well, thank you. I'm happy to see you guys and everybody else in here. Where is Debbie? Debbie 2 Scooter? Is that how you mean, Alicia? She's around. Is that what you mean? Debbie 2 Scooter? Debbie's around. She comes in. Everything's copacetic. We all went away on vacation in last April and May, and that's our 3rd year going away together. I'm interviewing an author who I don't give out the name because I have some trolls that do a lot of crazy crap. So I don't give out the name till about an hour before the interview. Sad but true. But you gotta do what you gotta do when you got trolls like that. But it is very good. It's gonna be very good. He has a really good book out. So yeah, Scooter had horrible stuff. Just been in a slight funk since my dad died. He told me he was sick, and I was told he had kidney cancer. 3 days later, he said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." Hi 61. Sorry, so sorry. Alicia says, I've been having recurring nightmares about Brian Koberger. Why? Just, you don't know why you're dreaming about that? That's terrible. That sounds horrible, Alicia. We're going to do something with a grief panel. I have a collab. I have a collab coming up with someone. I had something, someone had to delay something because of a project, but then I have another grief specialist that's going to be collabing with me on something. So that'll be good. I think that'll be helpful for everybody because I think so many people are going through that. Yeah, Alicia. Very terrible. Her younger daughter. So, anyway, don't be a stranger, Alicia. Watch that stuff. Come by and see us. Hi 61. Good to see you back. And we'll do our word game real quick, our daily, and then we will go for the night. And then I know High 61 likes the word game. And then we'll talk tomorrow at 2 o'clock with this guy. And then we'll see what happens with tomorrow's Thursday. Can't believe it. This weekend is Labor Day weekend. Get out of here. Get out of here. How did the summer go by so fast? I don't appreciate it. I do not appreciate that. I cannot believe this. The only thing I like is that, well, I don't like anything about it. Sorry. I don't like a dang thing about it. Not one dang thing do I like about it. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. You lost your mom in October? Oh, last October? Oh, I'm very sorry, Alicia. I agree with you. That Nick should be in a mental hospital for sure. Yeah, absolutely. He should be. Hey, painted black. Oh, okay. No. Don't judge me. No, I'm not going to judge you. It's like bondage stuff, okay? And sadomasochistic stuff, Alicia. She was looking that stuff up and she was into that stuff. And, you know, I mean, that doesn't mean that anybody that's into that is going to do what she did, but she was just like, you know, she was dominant and submissive kind of stuff. I didn't I do seduce and it wasn't there. Huh? Seed. Suede. Okay. Suede. Hi, soul souffle. Souffle, soul souffle. What's the matter, Des? You having a dream? Did somebody fall asleep in the Zoom? I hear somebody breathing heavy and I thought it was the dog, and then the dog was having a dream. Uh-oh. Used. Okay, let's get a couple more of these and so we can go to bed. Come on, Thai 61, let's go. Used, yep, I just got that high 61. D's. Oh, so she's just up to getting Bree to do her dirty work of trying to go after any creator that calls her out or something. She gets her to do that, and then people are saying there's stuff about these court dates or something, that there's court papers and they think something's being filed, but they said that the other week and that was something else. I don't think she has anything that right now is going to get her back there. If anything, they might tell her that she should cut back on her time online, maybe. But okay, that's one. And then no. Texas? No. Hi, Emmy. No. Margot, come on. I want to get done with this. I X'd. I think I did that. I did X's. No. I wish, Alicia. I wish. It's good. Okay, that's a good one. High 61. Great. DUCE. No. Hi, Tasha. I tried seduce. 2 p.m. Yes, 2 p.m. tomorrow. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that'd be like 11 Pacific Standard Time if you're still on that. I've got to put the thumbnail up. Then I'm probably just going to do it in the morning because I'm just too tired. I got to go to bed. I did get a good swim in today and that was great. Yes, still, at least you have no idea. But I'm really happy to see you. We just need this one word so I can go to bed. Hey Tasha, I'm tired now. I had a good swim today. It was a little cold getting in. Everybody's telling me this big trying heat wave and the water was cold today, but I did it anyway because I know there's limited days and I'm just going to go for it and do it. What are we doing? We just need this one. CEDS. No. Gee, I've tried that. Like, didn't I try that? Oh, finally. Oh my gosh. Thank you. All right. Well, I'm going to call it a night. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming in. I've got to find the one to end this. God bless. Prayers. All of you that are going through grief, it sucks. It really does. Just take it one day at a time, one step at a time, 1 minute at a time. That's all you can do. And you're not alone. Oh. But I don't know, I've got to end this here like somehow, but I'm just gonna, I guess I can't even find the, well, I'm just gonna end it through the Streamlabs. Everybody have a good night. God bless. Prayers. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Have a good night.